As part of the TAM system, the membership area utilizes some of the same basic reporting that other areas do. And let's not forget that reporting is very selectable. You're able to, in most of the reports, where it applies, select a date range or time range or month range of data that you'd like to view. You can either do that through some of these common phrases in order to prevent you from having to type in dates, or you could actually select it from the calendar. Remember, TAM stores all of its data granularly and chronologically and never purges that data, so you can run a report for this time of the year or this week and then run that same report for a previous week in a previous time frame and compare the two that way. This report that we're looking at is the print SKU movement report. It allows for filtering, so we're able to filter into certain areas within the database. This helps define the query that you're doing, so we can select by or filter by department, category, class, color, things like that where applicable. Again, in memberships, some of those seasonality or exhibit based stuff might apply. And then once we select the data time frame that we'd like, we also have the capability to group the report by any column on that report and then sort the reports. The reports are very selectable, although the columns are static. Now let's remember that applies to most reports in the system. Let's take a look at a couple reports real quick. First of all, the daily totals report. It's a revenue-based report that you can run for any business unit in the organization that processes or sells memberships. So you'll be able to see things like areas of tender, sales tax collected. Again, that doesn't typically apply to memberships, but might someday. And then we can see a breakout of sales. Now again, you saw in my demos that I'm selling multiple business units all in one register. That's good to know that TAM can do that, but you don't have to do that. So you're able to see what exactly sold in memberships versus what fundraising activities were performed and admissions that were sold in Plush. We do have other things like customer average sale, accounts, and things like that. But again, this is a very basic and general and commonly used report in TAM. The next report that we want to take a look at is if we wanted to see something a little bit more detailed. We saw that we did $1,075 in memberships. What memberships did we sell? So we're able to see we sold 1 corporate, 1 family, and 5 individual memberships. That's the breakdown or width of what we're selling. And again, it breaks out all the revenues. And again, this report can be run for any time frame. You can run it for a day, a week, a month, a year. That's some of the basic reporting in TAM. TAM has a number of membership activity reports that are part of the system. One of the most popular ones is the print membership activity. Again, you can choose from any date range. You can filter this to one specific department memberships. This will print not only renewals, but new memberships, any membership SKU activity at all. So if there's additional SKUs that you create, they'll appear on here as well. Each one will appear with full transactional data, and this also can be exported as well. So let's go ahead and take a preview of this. So again, here's mine from today. You can see this is a very complete report showing all transactional data, both sold to customers and member data, so gift memberships would appear appropriately on here, and so forth. This does print on a legal sheet of paper. Also, we have additional reporting in here, and you can see that through the report sample guide. There's a link that will be displayed at the end of this tutorial, but there's also membership reporting with full filtering that shows all additional member user data and so forth. Okay, TAM has a very proactive way of displaying activity that occurs. It's called dashboards and alerts in the system. First of all, there's 2 dashboards that can be possibly utilized by the membership department. And the dashboards can be pinned to your desktop. They do not need to run inside TAM, and they will real-time update. As you can see, I'm using the sales dashboard, so sales revenues, hourly sales, number of transactions, revenues, margins, things like that. And I've actually filtered it to just the membership department. So this activity is showing just that activity. So again, matching our 1,075 in sales for today. A count of 7 memberships have been sold. There's been no discounts and so forth. And we can also see hourly activity here as well. The other dashboard that can be viewed by the membership area is the admissions dashboard. Again, both these dashboards can be run for any period of time. They can be filtered into a specific area, and they will real-time update as we go. And this one would be the ticket sales or redemption area, so we can see things that the membership department or development department might be interested in. Member admissions and revenues and so forth, okay? So those are 2 of the dashboards that are available. Let's go ahead and take a look at alerts here as well. Alright, now as you can see on the screen here, alerts will allow us to be even more proactively notified if anything should happen in the organization that we'd like to know. And one of the key ones that I like to bring up always in the membership and development area is if a large donor or member shows up into the organization, we'd like to be made aware of that. Now, to set up an alert, you have to define who gets the alert, and any number of people in the organization can get it. And then you have to define how they're going to get the alert, and there's 2 different ways that they can get the alert. One is through a mobile number, the other is through or a text message, I should say. The other is through an email. So you can see here I've set up Jack Dvorak as one of the people who needs an alert. And then alerts come in a number of different areas. They can be customer service, fraud related, or operations. And as I mentioned before, in the operations area there's a customer message display. This can let us know when any VIP member has shown up in the organization, whether they've identified themselves at any of the registers in all the business unit areas. And again, we can send it by either email, text, or both, and then we can go ahead and click add. So things like sales activity, stuff you might want to know about your customer facing people, like training transactions or excessive refunds or voids, things like that that are of a security nature, as well as this notifying us when a VIP shows up, is all part of what alerts can do for you. Okay, all the information that we saw in the membership activity report in a previous session can be shared with other Office applications very easily. Now, this is different than the filtering and querying we did for the membership activity to communicate with members. In other words, getting contact lists out and things like that. But it does allow us to share all that data that we saw in that membership activity report with another application. Again, we have SKU filtering capabilities, so we can narrow in on just departments like membership activity. We can also look at specific date ranges of sales and so forth, and we're able to preview those results right on the screen. Now, as soon as we preview the results on the screen, again, very hard to read because, again, this is just building a one-line record with all the data. The goal here then would be to just simply export the report to Excel or another Office application, and in doing that, then you can see what the results would look like. It loads the data right into it, pulls it right up, and again, we can see all the bits of information that are available. Okay. Again, so it's very easy to share that membership activity with other applications.